As excited as I am to be here today, I am a little sad because at this moment, one of my best friends is packing up to move to northern Utah. The last week or so for her has been full of the repetitive activity of making boxes, carefully placing items inside of them, and getting them ready for the 10-hour trip across 3 states to a new adventure. Boxes are useful, but if we never break them open, all they do is prevent us from accessing the treasure stashed away inside. AVID helps me and my students break down our boxes and realize our full potential. My first 2 years of teaching were spent as a high school choir director / English teacher. When I realized my true passion was to teach English, I approached my assistant principal, who, rather than offering support, callously explained she had no full-time position to offer. In fact, based on her observations of me, she suggested I secure another job before the end of the next year when I was scheduled to get tenure. I'd entered this profession to make a difference in my students' lives, and I left this meeting feeling as if I'd failed miserably. Devastated, I wondered if life in a box would suit me better. Perhaps a career as a copy editor, where I could hide safely inside my cubicle and bring no harm to children with my self-perceived ineptitude. But I resolved that I hadn't spent 4 years getting an English degree and thousands of dollars obtaining a teaching credential so I could stare at a screen all day. In the summer of 2002, I accepted a 7th grade language arts position at Apple Valley Middle School and moved back home to the high desert. For the first few months, I tried to live discreetly inside the physical box of my portable. I kept my head down when I entered the workroom and attempted to hide inside the emotional box of my insecurity. But the teachers here started prying the lid off my box almost immediately. They shared ideas, they recognized my willingness to grow, and they saw my potential. Most importantly, one of them, Maureen Okerstrom, took the time to tell me about AVID. I'd heard of AVID at Anonymous High, but I only knew it as a program for first-generation college students. My petition to join Anonymous's site team was disdainfully ignored because I was just the choir director. Here, my participation was enthusiastically welcomed. At the end of a rough, yet moderately successful first year, Mrs. Okerstrom, who was retiring, asked if I would take her place as AVID coordinator. I was honored, scared, and confused, but ready to accept the challenge. The walls of my box were starting to break down. At Summer Institute, I realized that AVID was the answer to my question of how to help struggling students overcome impossible circumstances and achieve equally impossible feats of greatness. It broke them out of the boxes into which society tried to place them. For me, as a third-year teacher, it provided a solid and reliable resource for good teaching methods. Simple yet powerful ideas that brought my classroom to life. Socratic seminars, personal writing assignments, close reading strategies, and countless ways to promote successful student collaboration. I finally found a pathway towards developing relationships with my students while still providing them with research-based skills that would help them succeed in the future. I could now teach outside the box. My first year as an AVID coordinator wasn't perfect, and it wasn't easy, but it was the first year I'd ever felt like I connected personally with the students in my care and advanced them academically as well. As the program grew, colleagues began to seek me as a resource, and AVID began to transform the culture of our school. Kids now came to school with the mission of going to college. They were organized, focused, and ready to learn. As I watched students move from struggle to success, I gained the courage to completely abandon the box of self-doubt that had been holding me back. I was finally free to believe in my ability to help transform lives through the power of education. In 2010, I graduated middle school and started teaching at Apple Valley High School and Victor Valley Community College. My old fears of failure returned briefly, but AVID strategies again came to my aid. The critical reading and writing curriculum helped me show students how to analyze rhetorical texts, break out of their boxes of fear about writing nonfiction, and begin to see themselves as versatile writers. My AVID-infused self-confidence meant that instead of retreating from my colleagues, I felt comfortable enough to build community with them. and assist them with learning more about AVID strategies. I also had the pleasure of seeing many of my former middle school AVID students all grown up, high school diplomas received, colleges acceptances in hand, and scholarships in hand. Their boxes, poverty, isolation, broken families had not held them back. AVID had broken them out. I can honestly say that were it not for the discovery of AVID early in my career, I might have given up entirely and taken a job in a cubicle, living my boxed life. As an AVID educator, I am privileged to connect with the students in my care in a profound way as we grow and change together as a family. I'm able to help students like the young man in my AVID 1 class, whose mother passed away 2 years ago, whose father is in and out of the hospital with heart troubles, and who has to take care of his older autistic brother, open up the lid of his box and see the light of hope that his college education will provide him and his family. As AVID educators, we break down boxes, build communities, and move young people into their futures. Thank you for your time and attention.